What up, what up, what up, Coach V? We are live in the building. Well, not in the building, but virtually on a lot of
Yeah, we in the
platforms.
building. We in the building. Because Lord knows this is what I use.
Let's go, let's go. Listen. So, I know the last time we talked, we definitely said that we were going to come on here, talk to the people about no shortcuts.
Yeah, straight up. Got to. Because I think what's happening right now with this media and, these virtual settings and all of these things that's going on, there's a lot of comparison out there. We've talked about that before. There are a lot of people that are just, throwing money at the problem and it's making it worse, quite obviously. So it's really important to get with the people and actually talk about what it takes to make it to your final destination successfully. And one of those things is definitely highlighting the fact that you got to put the work in. You
Key.
have to put the
That's
work
key.
in. I've had too many conversations this week alone with brand new, whether it be agents or brand new business owners, brand new, speakers, brand new people that are trying to garner attention from their audiences. And, they think they can just pay for it.
Yeah. Shortcut.
Big
There's
shortcut.
no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts, man. I'm telling you, listen, people. Again, I can even go off my personal experience. Making it to the WNBA, that there's no shortcut in that. You gotta do the work. You have to put the time in. You gotta put the time in, the grind in order to get the reward that's at the end. And again, it's all about the journey, man. I know we're focused on the destination because we all are, but it's about the journey, and you cannot shortcut the journey by any
Mm.
means. Now, that's not to say that someone can't come in that has more knowledge than you, more experience than you, and tell you, hey, you know what? When I went about my journey, here's what I did. Here's where I got stuck. This is how I got over it. That's not a shortcut. That's a
Mm-hmm.
playbook so that you
Mm-hmm.
don't bump your head,
Yeah,
but you
understand
still
the
have to do
difference.
the yes,
Yeah,
and
you got to
break the
understand the
difference down
difference of
for
cutting
them.
down the learning curve.
Yep,
You know,
exactly.
it's two totally different things. Cutting down your learning curve and trying to shortcut your experience, two absolutely different things.
Yeah,
Right?
let's dig
Let's get
into
into
that.
it.
Let's dig into
Hmm.
that because I think when you say learning curve and then um, you know just truly trying to shorten the learning curve because we all have
Hmm.
learning curves in our lives, and
Hmm.
it's a matter of how long you're on your learning curve versus how
Hmm.
long I'm on my learning curve. We could be on the same team, but I'm telling you, your curve could be totally different from mine. I can get it, or you can get it faster than me. It doesn't matter, but we all go through our learning curve. So explain to them what it means to truly cut down on the learning curve, and then you're just trying to shortcut your way into success.
So let's start with that. So when we talk about learning curve, right? I'll give you some examples that happen in real estate. So we've got a lot of leaders in our tribe, and there are people that come in and they're able to talk about what it takes to get into investing, what it takes to build your empire, and just in your business, the type of work that you have to put in your business. And so me telling someone, giving someone the playbook on how to get invested in their business is one thing. You've got all of the steps, everything that I've done to get there. Okay. So that's cutting down on a learning curve. You've got the steps, you know exactly what to do. But the shortcut is being foolish to believe that you can go into investing with bad credit because you didn't do what you needed to do to keep, your financials in order, your profit and loss statements updated. You didn't even know about those, right? So now you
Yep.
got to go back and learn how to get your books together, how to report your business the right way, how to get started. Or let's talk about production. Got a lot of agents where we talk about how to produce well in the real estate industry, right?
Yep.
What did I do in order to produce? Okay, I give you the playbook to that. You know exactly the steps that you need to take. But
Yep.
then there's that work where you still got to go out and get a listing. You still have to go out and attract a buyer. You still have to go out and get the components that help you to reach the goals that you're trying to achieve. Same with exercising, right? Or like you said, making it to the WNBA. Somebody can tell you all day long and cut down on the learning curve of what it takes to get your film out there, to get in front of the right colleges, to get in the right position for you to be drafted to the WNBA, NBA, NFL, whatever it is that you play, right? Soccer, hockey, it doesn't matter. But you cannot shortcut the path to the game. You still have to go to the gym. You still have to put in the reps. You still have to show up. You still have to make winning plays. You still have to play your heart out in spite of whoever else is playing around you. You still have to go hard or go home. And you still have to wait the time that it takes for you to grow to the level of play.
Yep.
No shortcuts.
There are none.
Playbook.
You got it. You have it. I'm telling. Listen, that's the thing. We have it. The problem is we don't want to go through the losses because you're going to have some losses. Listen, I'm just here to tell you, you're going to have some losses. We don't want to go through the adversity. We don't want to go through the turbulence. We don't want to go through the confrontations. But all of those things that I just named are the builders to the journey. Imagine this. Imagine this, like you giving it your all and you don't see the success right away. It is delayed gratification. That's why you can't skip. That's why you can't skip the steps. That's why you cannot stop your process, because it is delayed gratification. You can grind hard for 10 whole years and you like, man, you know what? I just don't see a way. And then the 10th year, the first day in the 10th year, boom, success happens. And it's so rewarding because all of that work you put in. This is why you can see professional athletes, people of any profession that they're in, when they get to a level that they've been trying to reach for the longest, this is why you see them so emotional and crying, because they put in all this work that you didn't see. Getting up early in the mornings, going to sleep late at night, driving across the country or flying across the country just to be seen at a place or to go learn something that they didn't learn before. But you got to put the work in. You said that, and that is key. If we don't put the work in, I'm telling you, nothing happens if you don't put the work. Nothing. I promise you, nothing. You can sit with the $1 million playbook.
You can try to pay your problem off all you want to. That's like me trying to pay somebody to do my push-ups, to do my sit-ups. It ain't gonna burn calories for me.
Nope.
It's just gonna burn a hole in my budget and make them look good because they put in the rep. Right? But that's how we handle life.
Yes.
We want to throw money immediately at the problem and have somebody else handle it. I don't know who needs to hear this, but we got on here this Saturday for you. Understand something. Takara and I move strictly by divine ordination. We will hit each other up and say, are you available? Can you go? Can you hop on right now? Because if the word is hot like fire and it's moving and we are, motivated to get it out, it's for someone else. It's for us too. But it's for someone else. You've been trying to shortcut. You've been trying to throw. I keep saying this over and over again. I'm repeating it for a reason. You've been trying to pay off your problems. You can't pay off your problems. You got to face them head on. You got to confront them. You got to confront where you're dropping the ball, where you're not showing up, where you're missing the mark, where you're oversleeping, where you're underworking, where you're not putting in the reps. You have to address that. If you don't address that, all it does is it continues to make a bigger hole in your boat. You can only patch it so long. You can only patch the wheels up on a vehicle so long. You keep getting nails in your tires. And it's going to be so long that you're going to keep patching up your business or patching up your pursuits. You want what you see, but you're not willing to put in the work that you see.
Ooh. Repeat.
Want what you see, but you're not willing to put in the work that you see.
But wait, Coach V, hold on, time out, because look here. I'm gonna be devil's advocate. I got a little nice piece of money right now, and these people are telling me that I could pay this and this will get done. So, you sitting here saying, I got to put this work in, but I could just pay them to do it and it's done. So now, I got a habit of just chilling. So you telling me that my habits are going to start showing up even though I keep paying? So,
yeah, that's exactly
okay.
what I'm telling you. Because see, you're confusing delegation.
Ooh.
Okay. You're confusing delegation with replacing the activity that's required by you.
Yep.
There's a difference.
Yep.
We still have to know. We still have to work. We still have to put it in. Otherwise, your business is like a house of cards because you're putting everything into someone else's care to carry your vision off to somewhere else because you don't have the knowledge. You're not cognizant. Why do you think so many people, NFL players, NBA players, you were in the WNBA, some of the real estate moguls, why do you think that they get robbed blind?
Yeah, they're not paying.
Sometimes.
What I say all the time, pay attention.
They're not paying attention.
They're not paying attention to what's going on around them. We build ourselves up as athletes, as people in the professional world. We build ourselves up to function, to perform. But a lot of times we don't build ourselves up with our foundation of truly managing and running our own business.
Yeah.
And
understanding your financial portfolio, understanding, what keeps your business in operation, how to reinvest your currency, how to make your money make money, what is your backup plan, what's your retirement plan, what do you do when you're done with, whatever career field that you're on. All of those things you need to be in the know. Nobody said you had to 100% be the accountant. It said you needed to keep your vision clear, quarterly check your reports, go back and look and see what you're working with. Same thing happens physically when it comes to your business. You need to be showing up. You can't just lay your whole vision, right, in somebody else's care and then never come back to check on it. I know you want to trust that, but even biblically, it says you do not put your trust in man.
Wait a minute. So it's my best friend though. Like, it's my best friend. It's my mother. It's my father, sister, brother, family. I've been knowing this person all my life. What that scripture said: don't put your trust in.
Don't put your trust in man. It's your family, but it ain't their vision.
Exactly.
If they supporting you, glory to God.
Great.
Kudos.
Great.
But it ain't their vision.
It's not their vision.
You still have to check in. You still have to make sure it's running well. You still have to tighten up on its processes. Like we said, this is named No Shortcuts for a reason.
There's no shortcuts.
It's none.
I can try my best to find it. There's no shortcuts. There is no shortcuts. Real talk. There's no shortcuts. It's just, it's not. You got to put in the work.
And that's what, go ahead. No.
Yeah, you got to think about this. So for me, when I was playing basketball, I went to practice every day. So I saw physically what was going on with my team, with myself. I knew because I saw it. I was going through it. Daily habits, time block. That's a schedule. A lot of us don't have it in our own businesses. Listen, I'm guilty of it too a lot because I'll get off routine, I'll get off schedule, and then life starts getting like it's crumbling down.
Life starts lifing.
Life starts lifing because I'm not in control. And when I say I'm not in control, that simply means I'm not doing my daily habits.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it means. God is like, all right, you don't want to listen. So look, throw this at you, throw this at you, throw this at you. And then you're not prepared for anything.
Mm-hmm. And we got to learn how to push past adversity. I had a sister tell me the other day, so when I would go through things, I would shut down like real heavy and then I wasn't doing nothing else. And, she had just ministered to me and she was like, what I think is the biggest victory is to push past, all of the adversity, to push forward in life.
Yep.
To not think that I can slack here and then just come back and make it up because time is waiting on no one. When we're younger, we do things like that because we feel like we're young. We got our whole life ahead of us. But how many people have passed away this year? Unexpectedly. How many people have we saw that was full of potential that left here full of all their potential instead of emptied out? Yep. There are so many graves that are filled with potential and untattered talent that people said, okay, I'm gonna get to it. That book, I'm gonna get to it. That ministry, I'm gonna get to it. That training, I'm gonna get to it. I'll do it tomorrow. I'm reminded of that little boy. Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Why you always saying tomorrow?
Yeah.
Right? It's somebody right now. You're tuning in. You're saying tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised. We know that. We hear that all the time. We gotta get moving. And this is, again, like we said, we minister to ourselves as we out here, speaking, but it was necessary. This is how we grow. I always tell people, the more you teach, the more you learn, the more you grow. The more I speak, the more I elevate, because I start to hear myself really pour into myself. Is that the same for you, Takar?
Absolutely. And sometimes you actually have to hear yourself saying it before you start actually believing it. Like real talk. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely
you have to speak it until you see it. There's something about when you speak, it activates something. So I want to do an exercise with you right now, Takar.
Oh, no, you just took me to some nerdy stuff. Listen, because when you speak,
Right.
you put out the vibration. The vibration goes into the ether. The ether responds to what you put out there, and it comes back to you. Simple math, man. That's crazy, but let's get it.
All right. So this is the exercise, okay? I want you to look into this camera, and I want you to talk to the right now, Takara. Everybody wants you to talk to your younger self. Your younger self, she did what she did in this past. I want you to talk to Takara currently where she is, and I want you to coach Takara, and I want you to tell her what she got to do.
Takara, right now, we got to get right. We're going to put everything in motion. We're going to run these plays. You know what to do. It's time to get it done. Stop playing around. We're not overthinking it. We're just going out here every day. We're going to do the work. 1% is better than 0% every day, all day. I'll take that. So no matter how long it takes us to get there, we're going to get there. It's winning season, baby. Let's go. Pay attention.
Oh, let's go. I guess it's my turn now, huh?
Yes, it's your turn. Look in that camera and let's do it. What would you tell Coach V right now?
Coach V, let's get it. Coach V, get off your ace, man. Get up and put the work in. You're gifted. You talented. People love you. You love them back. You have so much on the inside of you. Don't let it just be potential. Let it be prosperity. Let it be productivity. Let it be everything that you know God has told you to do. You got a book inside of you. You got ministry inside of you. You got coaching courses inside of you. You got so many things on the inside of you. Don't let your thoughts stop you. Progress over perfectionism. Done is better than not done at all. Don't let anything stand in your way. Don't compare yourself to anybody. Don't worry about appearance, looks, or anything like that, because people love and accept you just for who you are. And there are pioneers who have gone before you and blazed up the trail just so you can follow the blueprint and create another blueprint for the people that's coming after you. You're a legacy, a living one. So go take life by the reins and go live.
I love it. I love it. Listen, and you said it. The thing is, what I love about what you just did, that exercise right there, because now, regardless if we were on this camera live or not, we actually put those words out into the atmosphere, right? We've said it. It has vibrated into the universe. It is going to come back. And we just got to be ready, and we got to show up when it does come back. So now we just held ourselves accountable, because a lot of times this stuff is in our heads and we're writing it down. Who hears it?
Yeah, nobody. Well, the universe, God, the angels all in heaven, they hear. But it's good when we can put it out there and you hear, because what you guys have to understand, what we just did is we just created a mirror for ourselves. You, if you're tuning in or going to be tuning in, you look in this camera or look in the mirror and tell yourself what you got to do. Speak to your right now self, because that's what we also fail to do. Again, no shortcuts in life. We try to live either in the past or we're already in the future. We forget to live in the present right now. Right now. If you're trying to shoot into your future already, you shortcutting yourself. You killing that struggle. That, like J. Cole said, is beauty in the
In the
struggle. Because
struggle, no shortcuts. Yep, no
beauty,
shortcuts.
man. Okay, so you guys have to learn how to really embrace this season and this setting and where you are. So many people think, man, I should be further ahead. I should be this. No, you should be right where you at.
Yep, because
Because if you should be further ahead, you would have already been there.
yep. If you're supposed to be further than what you are, if you feel that way, I want you to be honest with yourself. Because I can feel the same way. Like, man, I'm supposed to be so much further than I am. Like, I could say that, right? But then I have to also ask myself, why am I not? And if I have to answer that question honestly, the answer is going to be this: because I haven't been doing the work.
Yeah.
You see how that accountability just came right back? There's no shortcuts. So, when we learn things, when we experience things, when we hear other people tell us about their situations, what our minds go to and what we think we can do is, oh, I'm not going to do it this way. I'm going to do it that way. So that way I kind of shorten the time it takes me to get there. But no. You cannot shortcut this bad boy. Trust me.
You can't. You
You
can't.
can't.
I was at the gym today. I went to a workout session today. And I hadn't been working out in a long time, but I had been hearing, your body talks to you. Your body's telling you, you need to get up, you need to get active, you need to move, you're tripping, you're eating too much, you kind of sitting down too much, you're too sedentary, get up. So, I was like, okay, I'm running a little bit late. That was almost an excuse to say I'm not going. But I said, nope, I'm gonna go. I tried to check in on my app. It said, the lead time was exceeded. I couldn't check in. It was another excuse to not go. So I almost was like, about to hit up my sister say, I'm not gonna make it. But it was something about the journey where God was like, nah, you keep going, keep pushing, keep persevering, go, persist. And then I underestimated the workouts, and I also overestimated my ability when it came to what I can do if I didn't make it today. See, in my mind, I have been telling myself, you're good. You're good for it. Because every time I work out, and I get into stride and I go consistent, I have great success. Like, I don't have small success, and small success is awesome too, because we talk about that. Yep. Celebrate the smalls, Biggie. Okay. Yep. Celebrate it. Like, stop looking at all the big wins. Like, no, celebrate those small wins. They're special. They have lessons intertwined on the inside of them. That's why you got people that can feel like, I know all the big things, but I feel like I'm missing those small coping mechanisms and those small components. That's because you grazed right over the small lessons that were there. Those small lessons have power. It can carry 2 times its weight. Those small lessons have value and strength. They have power. So I overestimated my abilities because I said, if I don't go today, I can go tomorrow. I can go next week. And I already know me. When I get started, I'm going to lose that. I'm going to go hard. I'm going to lose weight. People going to start saying, oh, you're looking like you lose weight. Your face is slimmer. You're this, you're that. But it's something about staying consistent and finishing that it's like, yeah, I can get started all the time. I don't have a problem in the world getting started. It's finishing, okay?
It's seeing it through to the finish.
To the finish. So I was like, okay, I overestimated that part. And then I underestimated the experience. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to do these little pogo pull-ups and the little skis and the jumping and the biking and the weightlifting. And I'm going to go hard because they don't know me. Like, I'm big, but I'm solid. I can do this. And I got in there. And those small exercises that look small, they didn't look like, what I'm used to. Like, they didn't look like that whole hour, right? No, those small exercises nearly wiped me out.
The small ones.
The small ones. Because that's what we do in our life. See, our physical will let us know what we're doing in the spiritual.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We are spiritually underestimating the small steps that lead to the bigger parts of our journey, the bigger victories.
Yep. That's real.
That's that on me. Real big.
That's real. That's real. Man, good Lord, that's real. Because we do, again, it's the world we live in. Everything is super duper exposed. It's almost like we just want this big, phenomenal everything. But to be honest, you have everything right in front of you. You
right in
just
front of you.
keep skipping over it, trying to get to this other thing. When we just need you to go through. See, I just need to take you through so I can get you there. You can get there. I promise you, you can get there. There's no limits to where we can go, what we can do, the things that we put our mind to and put our grind to. So make up your mind to get it done, but then you got to actually put your grind to it.
Mhm.
That's where that beauty's at, in that grind.
That's why you keep starting over.
That's exactly why. For real.
That's why
That's
you keep
exactly
making the
why.
same relationship over and over again with a different person.
You just keep recycling the same experiences. You talked about adversity early on, right? You said something about adversity. And I just want everybody to think about this, because I just said this the other day. I was like, man, you know what? The type of adversity that I'm always hitting seems to always show up in different forms. But it's the same adversity. It's not different at all. It's the same adversity. And I had an epiphany. I keep handling the adversity the same way, thinking I'm going to get a different result. Insanity. And you can't do that.
Insanity, big time.
Yep.
Big time.
So I'm like, man, adversity keep hitting, boom, boom, boom. But I'm trying to handle the adversity the same way. Trust me, I know the answer, right? I know the answer. I'm just not doing it. I'm not putting it in play. Correct.
Most of us do. Like, I remember when I was ministering heavy back when I lived in Houston, and I remember having these conversations with people that'll come to me and be like, Minister Val, because that's what they used to call me back then. I just don't know why, this. And then I'd go to ministering to them according to what I felt like God was telling me. And then they'll start saying, man, I know that. I feel ashamed because I feel like I heard God telling me that. Because if somebody's telling you something, somebody's pointing to you, they should be confirming. See, they're never going to tell you anything that God hadn't already told you. Might show you something you've never seen before that wasn't new underneath the sun. It's just somebody had more experience than you. They were born before you, or they experienced it before you. But what you're being told is what has already been internally unctioning you. The problem is your fear is holding you back. Intrepidation is holding you back. Intimidation is holding you back. How someone else did it versus how you would do it is holding you back. Right? That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah. So it is.
It's you already know the answer. You already know the solution. You already know what you have to do. And most of the time, the battle is bigger in your mind than it is in the physical.
Come on now. That's the biggest battle up top.
It's big in your mind. Look, okay. I keep going back to fitness. It's because it's so heavy on my heart. It's because that's what's been happening.
Let's get it. Inside of me. But Coach V, before you start,
simplest thing. Oh, go ahead.
Before you start, you saying fitness, but we have to be physically fit. We got to be spiritually fit. We got to be emotionally fit. So go ahead. You on the right one. You on the right path. Let's get it.
Your mindset has to shift before you start doing things in the physical. Because if you do things in the physical and your mind is not aligned, it's going to be a war between your physical self. It's almost, you ever seen the Professor Klump or the Klumps or whatever the case may be, Eddie Murphy, and he's wrestling against Professor Klump. You know, but this is because the battle in the mind is greater than the physical. Someone has said to me, girl, all you got to do is walk. I know this to be so. That I can go to the gym all day. But if I do what I'm supposed to do, I eat right, I drink my water, I take my proper vitamins, all those things. I attend my doctor's appointments regularly, make sure, all my levels are where they need to be. And I just walk every day. I'll see great gains, right? Reduction in my waist. All of that. But you know what happens? We go into this whole perfectionism ball. Well, you know what? I'll feel better if I had a personal trainer. I'd feel greater if, I was doing the weights. I'd feel awesome if I had somebody just telling me every day exactly what I need to do. You do though. That voice on the inside of you, right? That voice on the inside of me, man, been telling me I wake up in the morning, I'll be wanting to sprint out my house. But the power of choice is something else, though. The power to choose to do what you hear or to stay stagnant against what, the better advice that's being given to you. We have a power to choose, and we just don't always choose the right direction. I feel like I'm on the stand today. You feel that way?
Man, listen.
Vulnerable, transparent.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, that's how we get to where we need to get to. In anything that you've ever done, I promise you, there's going to be a time where you do have to be vulnerable and you got to be transparent. That's part of it. We've been trying to skip the steps. We've been trying to take shortcuts. But in order for people to actually feel like you care about them and whatever business that you're doing, they got to know you care, man. I'm telling you, sharing your story with other people not only inspires them, but hell, it should inspire you. Like real talk. Because sometimes when we're talking to one another or we're even talking to different people, we're pouring into ourselves. And you said it earlier when we first got on. Sometimes it's for us. It's not for anybody else. We just kind of let y'all be on like a 3-way call to me and her conversation.
That's it.
Like it's almost like a conference call. We're talking to each other, building each other up, pointing to each other, also allowing you guys to listen in. And there's times when you're on here, you join in with the conversation because it resonates with you. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. So I'm telling you, we talking to each other, man. We're talking to ourselves, talking to each other for sure. The transparency is real, for real.
Yeah. And we literally do this. We do this.
Oh, your sound went out, Coach B. Oh no, we gotta get Coach B sound back up. She coming. Waiting on her sound to kick back in. But yeah, we're talking about taking no shortcuts. And we're talking about the transparency of how we share. Coach B, you there?
There it is.
There you go.
You hear me? There it goes. Yeah, big time. We talk to each other like this on a regular basis.
Yep.
We just thought, man, it'll be great for other people to have that accountability. To have.
Oh, it went again, Coach. Yeah, it went out again. You gotta bring it back in. Yeah, no, but we're talking. There we go. I got you. Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna use this one because this my mics was like, you didn't tap me out. I'm done. Okay? I'm done.
See, but even the mics need to be charged. No shortcuts. No shortcuts.
You gotta get recharged, man. You gotta get recharged. But I was just saying, it's important for people to have this love. It's important for you to have this accountability. It's important for people to highlight the fact that you skipped steps and then tell you to take yourself back. Right? I'll tell you in a heartbeat, go back. Go back. I remember Takar and I, we've been talking about, just the things that we want out of life. We're both coaches. We both want to, share the wealth of education and inspire people to, get on a good foot and pick themselves up and, and just get to it. And one of those things that we had to realize is that what is in us has always been in us. But we might have allowed our newer journeys to overpower what we had already mastered.
Yep.
Takara, and congratulations, by the way, y'all, man, hold on real quick. I gotta stop for a second. Who's releasing Full Court Press?
Hey, listen, man, look, it's the conversations that we have, you and I have had, and it's all about truly just tapping into yourself. Like, you always be like, Takara, why are you deviating from what you do? Like, why are you deviating from, like, you play basketball and you do this? So why are you deviating?
I was trying to understand. We about to get real. Like,
Yeah.
listen, I thought we was already getting real, but we about
No.
to get real. I was really trying to understand why Takara was shrinking back, why she was in the shadows. I was like, wait a second, hold on 1 second. You know, I appreciate your humility. I appreciate your love. I appreciate you walking this journey with me and, you know, and being a regular smuggler. But you ain't. You're not. You know, and I told her, I was like, wait a second, man. It's people who miss you. It's people who want to see you. It's people who love you. It's people that want that Takara. Like, so what is it? What is this? And I think Takara thought because she had, you know, got into real estate, that, you know, it was time to be serious and it was time to be, you know, the real estate mogul and all of these things because she'd been having her license, Lord, for a long time. But the reality was, like, Takara was already that girl. She's already that woman. She's already that person. And she her. She's her. And she was telling me, Coach B, you her. I'm like, you her. Right? We up in here highlighting each other like you her. And, you know, I feel so blessed for the connection. I've been blessed by the connection now at this point. I think for a couple of years now. We're going on 2 years in this thing. But I feel so exceedingly blessed because I felt like Takara discounted so much of her story, or maybe not necessarily discounted, but just kept it under wraps. Let's really dive into that, because you are a survivor. You're an overcomer. You are the epitome of no shortcuts, right? All, like, even we talk about this all the time, never having a winning season in college, but playing to the nature of being able to make it to the league, right? Where people only dream of, where the percentage of people that make it is small because the entries are so high, right? You actually went through life not taking shortcuts and then not falling off, because some people get shiny object syndrome and say, you know, this team ain't had a winning season. I'm about to go and, you know, into the transfer portal. I'm about to go somewhere else because I know I got the skill. I'm about to start shopping my talents and abilities to somewhere else, right? But you stayed in, you stayed consistent, you stayed dedicated, you stayed into, you know, the completion, you acknowledged that. And I felt like for so long you didn't give yourself that credit. Can you talk to us about why? What was it in your mind that wouldn't allow you to give yourself that credit? I want to know that.
Man, that's a good question. And I think it was me just like, okay, you're gonna dive into real estate and you're new here, right? You're new here. You're new in this space. This is not a space that you've been in. There's people in it that know more than you. So you gotta put the work in to build yourself up to get like that, to get like those people that's teaching it, right? That was my thought process. That was in my mind. So the whole time I had my license, like I said, it was I got licensed in like 2007. I want to say 2006, 2007. I can't even remember, but I've had it for that long. And, you know, again, I've always kept it active, dibbled and dabbed in the real estate, but I was still doing basketball. So the problem that I had, you know, I'm looking around, I'm seeing all these people. I'm like, all right, so they got the one up on me. So I just gotta get in and do my time, because I compared it to like basketball. I didn't make it to the WNBA until I put in a certain amount of time, right? So I'm comparing that to what's happening in real estate to what I've accomplished in the basketball world. But honestly, you know, it takes people like you to cry, man. You tripping. It takes the wife. You're not tapping into your superpower. You know, it takes someone telling me, man, I'm just so glad to see you owning it now. And I'm like, well, dang, what was I doing before? And you gotta
not owning it.
No, real talk.
We was waiting on you. I'm like, hold on.
And it's like, you know, you have to self-reflect. And I talk about this a lot. Like when we have scouting reports, we're looking at other people. But when we're watching film, I watch film on myself. So I'm critiquing myself. So now I'm like, hold on. Comparison is the thief of all joy, right? So here's me comparing myself to I don't know who. It's something that I put in my own mind. But it's like, regardless of what they're at and what they do, you come with something totally different. God blessed you with something totally different. You are a point guard. You put people in position. You're a connector. Period. Like, why are you not doing that? Like, why are you not being the point guard in this space? Because you proved you already have all these intangible assets, benefits. I'm just taking you to another field to put the same intangible assets and benefits. You're going to be successful. Like, why are you not running the play?
You've been that. You've been that influencer. You've been that. And, I think what it is, now, again, we're talking to you guys out there as well. Don't discount yourself and your abilities. Don't discount what you've already done. Don't let anybody, sit on your self-esteem or make you feel like you have to subscribe to mediocrity. Because I think that's what it is. You got to watch your surroundings. You were surrounded by too many regular thinking people, before you got into a forum of people who think bigger than their current state. People who actually plug in and they understand the power of competence and how competence breeds confidence. Your story matters. That's facts and stories. We put our stories behind us and we think, this has passed over. This is my new chapter that I'm entering into, but we don't understand that chapter that we closed was a forward to this new beginning. Yeah. So you get a people, background, you remind the people who you've been, you remind the people that, I really know this. I really know life in this capacity, and that every career path that I take on is a decoration. It's a pendant. It's an emblem on my, on my blazer or whatever the case may be. Right.
Yep.
You the captain, you the lieutenant, you heading it. And so that was important for me too, though, because sometimes I believe God will not allow you to see yourself because he knows you'll get the big head. So he don't let you see yourself like everybody else see yourself. He'll keep you, we're in a place where you exercise in humility. People are open doors for you. They like, come here, let me put you on these stages. Let me put you on these platforms. But then when he put you up there, you got to know that you belong at the table. You got to know that seat was specifically reserved for you. Like there might have been somebody else who showed up to the wedding feast first and sat in the front seat because they just felt like that was their seat. But the embarrassment comes when the wedding, party says, hey, I reserved this seat for Takara. I reserved this seat for Valencia, right? We can't underestimate the power in which he has put in us because we got to go back. And I want to encourage somebody out there, go back and then think about all of the lives you have impacted. Think about all of the people that you have inspired, right? Yep. That's Alexa talking in the background. I don't mind her. Think about, every person that has complimented you. Don't think about the naysayers because you know what? The naysayers be louder than the people that's encouraging you, but the word of God says there's more for us than those who are against us, right? But we don't always take that full word and apply it. True. Don't think about all of the negatives. Think about all of those positive victories, all of those moments that you were applauded, all of those moments that you were praised, that people were pouring into you, because those are the moments that you can take in 10x.
Facts.
That's what this is all about. Again, we just, we always like to throw our title out there again, so we stay on task. But that's what it's about, not taking shortcuts. Don't get the shiny object syndrome and think you could just change fields and positions.
Yep.
I had to tell my son, man, he's always played offense in football his entire career. And because I guess, he felt like he wasn't applauded like he's always been in his offensive position. God just switches over to DB. He goes into, strong safety, And then, they had him playing free safety, and I didn't like it because I was like, you've always been an offensive player. Like, why would you switch? Why would you switch? And then, he explained something to me, and I said, okay, listen, we can't take back. I know I probably didn't froze, but you can still hear me, right?
Yeah. I hear you good.
So I said, we can't take back the position change. But what we can do is make the best and the most of the position that you hold.
Yep.
So I told him, prove me that you made the right decision. He said, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
He been in that position. The boy has been smashing. 2 interceptions this last game, 1 touchdown. They won 46-13.
Smash.
But it comes with you having the power to believe, and choosing the power, not just having.
Yeah.
You've always had the power. You got to activate it. Choosing to believe that whatever position I hold, I've been that person.
Yep.
I'm a realtor, but I don't operate in the capacity of a realtor. I
Absolutely
operate in the capacity of an inspiration, of an influence, of an impact agent, of a change staff member.
Yep.
This is just an occupation. It's just a pendant on my jersey, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who does Takara operate as?
I'm telling you, listen, I'm the basketball real estate mogul. I always say pay attention. You done told me I'm the crossover mogul. Hey, listen, and I love the crossover mogul. I started putting that bad boy in everything. So to be honest, I've already honed in on the skill. The work was already put in with the skill set that I have. I set people up for success. I'm a connector. I know that for a fact. If I need to score, trust me, I will. But I'm a connector. I'm going to do the assist. And if I got to go get it, I'm going to go get it. I ain't lead the NCAA in steals for nothing. I don't got the school record at Texas A&M for nothing. I'm the all-time steal leader, meaning I'm going to get something to create another opportunity for my team. That's what I do.
It. And you're going to do that in every aspect of life. Yep.
Every. So if you're looking to get opportunities created, but you got to understand that you got to do the work, right? I'm so glad you asked me that question because, and nobody ever asked me that question before. And I've never had to really dive deep into it until now. But don't limit yourself by thinking, you don't belong somewhere because you don't have the quote unquote number of years of experience that other people have. You have something that they don't. And I guarantee you, when you bring you into that new industry, into that field, or if you just rededicate and recommit you to right now, everything is going to change for you. Just like Coach V said with her son, just own what it is that you do, own what it is, who you are, and watch how things change for you. Blink of an eye, it will change your whole world, your perspective, your mindset, everything shifts. So allow that to happen. Don't be the naysayer. Why are you joining the group of the naysayers? Because I think that's what I did, Coach V. I joined in with the naysayers. I wasn't saying what they were saying, but I was saying the things that didn't allow me to progress and succeed to the next level.
Yeah, your physical, and sometimes you got to be careful because your physical starts saying what they're saying.
Absolutely.
Your mouth doesn't have to say it. If you believe what they're saying, you physically will say it with stagnation, failure to forge ahead. Telling yourself you don't have all the components to succeed. You don't know all of the people. You were serving you were serving as the president of a whole athletic association.
Still am.
Still is.
Yeah.
And then, behaving like you didn't have resources.
Exactly. Think about that. I want y'all to think about that. It's like you're in the bank and you have a vault, right? You have a vault. You can go in this vault at any time. And you just sitting there with the key and you never open the vault. Utilize your resources. I'm telling you. And a lot of people just want you to ask them for advice, ask them for guidance. Mind you, I'm not asking about no money. I didn't say anything about money. I'm just telling you, people want to see you succeed. People want to see you grow. They want to see you flourish, and they actually want to help you. But you got to access that vault. Access your vault. Because V dropped off, but she's gonna come back on. We're talking about no shortcuts, right? No shortcuts. How do you get through life without taking shortcuts? It all starts with your mindset, and then it all starts with your grind. So once you do that, you got to bring it to the forefront. So we're waiting on Coach V to come back in to the studio so I can bring her back in. Coach V, if you can hear me, go back out and come back in, and then I can pull you up on the stream so that you can join in. But yeah, no shortcuts, man. A lot of times, I held me back. And once you realize that you're holding yourself back, then and only then will you be able to actually allow yourself to go forward. So you got to give yourself permission, man. Stop holding you back. Start owning who you are, what you do, what you're all about, and just ride it. Like, ride your wave. Ride the things that has taken you to this point in life. Ride those good things. Don't let your negative self-talks get in your way. So the question that Coach V asked, like, I'm finally starting to develop my coaching program. And it's called Full Court Press, Real Estate Strategies with the WNBA Pro, because I take what I learned in basketball in my WNBA career and just all of the things that I've learned along the way, my Hall of Fame coaches, every coach that I've had, and I'm putting it all into this program. And I'm treating the program as a season, right? Because when I played, I went through a season. So within your season, you have different seasons. That's what it took for me to get to where I wanted to go, because certain things happen and you can adjust. Definitely in real estate, our markets change constantly all the time, and we're constantly having to adjust. So it's almost like we're in a season, but there's an off season, there's a preseason, then you're in the season, then you have your all-star break, and then you finish your season off. You got playoffs, you got the championship, pause for a second, but then you're in your off season again. And then the cycle just, it just replenishes itself. It just recycles itself. So for me, the program that I'm putting together, it's all about the season. And you have to go through your season. When I played, there's certain disciplines, there's certain things that we had to do. I had to show up to practice every day. I showed up to practice every day with my coach. And a lot of us, especially in real estate, we're trying to show up and do this thing on our own, and we don't know what we're doing. So how valuable is it for you to have a coach that's there? Like, what if I went to practice every day and there was no coach there? There's no structure. Everybody probably running helter-skelter. We'll make it work for a little bit, but how, as a player, it's hard to manage the game from the outside because I'm in it, right? So you guys got to think about that. How valuable is it for you to have a coach in your respective industry? How valuable is that for you? So you guys got to think about that. So that's why, when I developed this coaching program, it's about a season, and we got to go through the season. I'm the coach of your season, and I have to make sure, because I'm taking it as my responsibility to make sure that my players within the program, right? My players within my program are successful. It's not a one size fit all. I don't want to work with everybody. I'm not for everybody, and everybody's not going to be for the program, because at the end of the day, I want people who want to win, and I want people who want to do the work, not just you're trying to think you can shortcut your way into something. You actually got to do the work. That's why I had a rookie season. That's why you have, your career. What's up, Coach V? She's back. But I was talking to them about, the coaching program that I'm doing. And it's gonna be like a season. This is their season. So my players in the program, we're going through a season. I didn't show up to practice every day and not have a coach. We either practice for 2 hours or we practice for 3 hours. But when we practice, my coach was there. And that's the same thing I'm going to bring to my coaching program. Like, I'm there for the 2 hours. after we're gonna do our work for the 2 hours, and then and only then, if you want to be great and not mediocre, right? You got to go do some work after you leave me. It works just like
That's
a
right.
season. It works just like a season. So I was just
You gotta
explaining
put
to
those
them,
reps in.
you have to. And sometimes as a player, it's like, man, gotta go to practice, man. You know what we did in practice? We did the same thing over and over and over and over. We ran over our plays offensively over and over and over. When we switched up practice, it's because we was getting ready to play a game against somebody else, right? We was playing someone else. We need to change our offense. We need to change our defense. We need to know how we was going to defend this person, what we were going to do. But again, our foundation was the same. We did the same things. But mastering the fundamentals is what makes you great, people. It's boring, but it makes you great. I promise you that.
Oh yeah, man, that is so good. And I didn't miss a beat. I got a live playing over here while we on here. I'm like, when it's getting good. When the internet and all that stuff, all your connectivity start going on the fritz, it's good. It's good. But I love the way that this session went today, and I absolutely want to invite anybody who's encouraged by this to please drop us some topics. Let us know what you want to hear more of. Tell us what's been plaguing your thoughts. Like, what is it, right, that you guys are struggling with or toiling with, and what can we help you guys to overcome? Because our mission here is to impact and inspire you to really, put that work in, put that grind in. Both of us, Takara and I, have seen I'm talking about crazy, astronomical, insurmountable success that our past and where we come from did not point in this direction.
No. Not a chance.
No. We had to have visions against visions, have hope against hope, have beliefs against beliefs, right? And push past all of the things that said we weren't qualified in order to get into these positions and to get the seats at the tables that we hold. Yeah. So, the best certification, best degree, I think you can really have is the degree of experience.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. People make fun when they say I went to the school of hard knock lives. Look, real talk. That's a real school. Like, quit playing. So I most certainly would love for you guys that are going to be tuning in, and for you guys who are currently tuning in, let us know what you want to hear, because these are things that it's been placed on our heart. And so we like, okay, if God told us to do it, we got to get it out.
Yep.
We got to talk about it.
Yep.
And so, if God's placing on your heart to empower us as we continue to bring, more of our experiences and, by the grace of God, drop gems, please tell us what you want to hear. Yeah. Because we right here, we ready. This is what we do.
Yeah. And the one thing when you said, with disqualifying our passions and everything like that, don't be the person that discounts yourself. We do that a lot. Like when you said that people feel like they're not qualified to be in certain rooms, you're qualified, but you're just holding yourself back in your mind. Like, yeah, at the end of the day, like a lot of the way people see you and I don't think we were visually envisioning ourselves in that manner. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, why we don't see ourselves as bosses. Everybody else does. You know what I'm saying? Like, why we not seeing
everybody else does.
Everybody else does.
Everybody else does.
No, real talk, like for real. And it's like you gotta own you. To thine own self be true. To thine own self be true. Because I'm gonna tell you something about me and Coach V. And I don't even have to ask for this, and I know this. If we're attending an event, right, and somebody's on a stage and they're talking about something, and we're going to go back and fact check and be like, let me see how they did that. And I guarantee you we're going to figure out how they did that. And be like, that's what they did? Like we do. I know we do it all the time. Yeah. I'm telling you. Because how many, this is God playing. I'm not saying God is playing with us, but this is God just dangling it in our face. Because how many coaching sessions are you going to be on? where people are already teaching the stuff that you already talking about.
That you taught. Man, come on, say that again, bro. Say that again.
How many coaching sessions do you have to be on when the
how
people
many events you gotta attend?
What you taught?
How many events you have to attend? How many coaching conferences? How many of these events are you going to be a part of that you're not putting on? How many times are you going to hear these people say the same thing you say? I have paid y'all now. Okay, we getting realer than real now. I have paid so much money to attend courses and classes and whatever the case may be, and it's like double, triple, quadruple confirmation that I've been saying this. I've been like literally, and it's crazy because the people who will say it, they'll own it. Like they've been saying it for years, and it's like, bro, no. It's got to be that great minds think alike. But the difference between us and them is execution. Let's be real. That's execution. I'm not hating on you because you're doing what I already do, or you saying what I already say, and you're monetizing it and capitalizing off of it.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, I need to get like you and get to executing what I already know. And that's you're in the audience and you know it. You got the playbook. You know so much stuff. You can write 20 books, but your execution sucks. Yeah. You're not trying to put in the execution. How many times we gonna stay in the lab practicing?
Hey, we got to get out the gym. See, that's what I'm saying. It's time to look. You didn't. Like at this point, you're not letting the people perform. Like you're not letting the people see you perform. We just keep going scouting games. We out here scouting games. All right, I'm gonna go watch such and such play.
They came to see you play.
That's real. That's real.
They ain't come to see you practice. They came to see you play.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
that's like you telling your coach telling you it's showtime, and you tell them, "Nah, coach, I can't show to the game. I gotta practice."
Hold on. Listen, people, let me tell y'all something. When I play basketball, right, all my friends call me Sweet. All my friends call me Sweet. And I know Sweet is different from Takara. That's a fact. I'm just telling y'all. Alter ego. What? Sweet on the court? Like, Sweet mean business. So I'm going to have to bring Sweet into this real estate realm because I know Sweet is different from Takara. Because when Sweet is in that zone, it's a wrap. Like, if Sweet, I got Sweet, bring Sweet in here. Like, you know what I mean? So it's truly about owning who we are and what we do. Like, we gotta look, I'm not saying don't get fed with education, even going to different seminars to keep learning, right? But at some point, like she said, we gotta stop practicing and just put it out there. We'll need a big production. And I think sometimes, I myself, I'm gonna speak for me. I ain't gonna put words in your mouth, Coach V, but I myself is like, man, I just don't have the production. Like I need this, that. No. When you made it, you ain't have this, that either. You just went out there and did the work. Like you just went out there and played. You had your shoes and your uniform.
I thought about something.
Talk to me.
It's like kids. When kids believe they can do something, ain't nothing in the world that can stop them.
Nothing.
You can't tell them enough that they're not big enough. That they can't drive that car, or they can't shoot that ball, or they can't, be in the environment that you're in.
Yep.
There's nothing you can say that can convince a child in their purest form that they're not brave enough to take on anything.
Yep.
We let all these life experiences get in the way of our bravery.
Yep.
That's why God said to humble yourselves like children. That's why he said, have that mentality, because children are brave and courageous and nothing can stop them. And I guarantee you, if you go at life like, man, I'm a child of God, like he got me, I can do anything. There's nothing that I can put my mind to that I will fail at. And even if it doesn't turn off right, it's not a failure. It's actually another level to get me closer to where I'm trying to go. It's actually a puzzle piece that gets me there. See, when you start a puzzle piece, anybody ever here done a $1,000 piece puzzle? Y'all ever did that? Okay. You get to that table and you start off with one. You got the whole box flipped out. It's all messy,
Scattered.
scattered. You have to choose to lay one piece that will help you start framing the picture, the bigger picture. Some people choose to frame the corner first.
Ooh.
They find all the corners,
4 corners.
the 4 corners, right? And they build inside.
Yep.
Some people try to find just the matching pieces.
Yep.
Right?
Put them together.
And put them together. Some people got to have a box sitting in front of them and they look at the puzzles like, this got to be the nose.
This has
to be the nose. And they just go through laying puzzles out just to see what fits. Regardless of how you lay your puzzle out, you still going to come to the same ending if you're consistent and you continue to lay piece by piece by piece.
Come on now. Come on now.
I remember being a child and getting excited about puzzles. My mama and everybody probably was like, hey, no, I ain't doing that puzzle. Like,
too much time. It take up too much time. It takes too much time. It takes too much time to do that puzzle.
Yeah, but as a kid, I got all the time in the world. Yep. So I think.
Yep.
And that's why, again, that's how we grew up. That's why we kept, kind of resetting ourselves, thinking that we have all the time in the world. But now imagine taking the ability to be an adult with a power to choose and to make the right decisions and having the courage and the bravery of a child.
Come on.
To go after something, no matter how intimidating it may be to others.
Come on.
No matter how scary it may be to others. to tell yourself, I got all the time that I need to put this 1,000-piece puzzle together, baby.
But
I'm about to put this together corner by corner, side by side, pick next to pick. And when I step back and it's time for me to put that final puzzle piece in to see the bigger picture, the victory that I'm going to feel.
Fulfilling.
And if you do it right, you're going to put a frame behind that puzzle.
You're going to, well, come on now. What? When it's
you're going to stick them pieces on some glue in a cardboard and get you a picture frame behind it.
Yeah, that's good.
And when you put that last piece in, baby, this going to stick. This going to stick. But how many puzzle pieces do you try to plug onto another one and say, don't fit?
Don't fit.
It's not right. That's the life we live in right now. Life is a one big puzzle. And we just, sometimes things just don't fit. That don't mean you stop.
That's okay.
Okay.
It just don't fit with what you're doing. That's cool.
Yeah. Keep putting it together. Because there are no shortcuts.
None. There are no shortcuts. You got that 1,000 puzzle piece that you just talked about. You sure enough got to put in the time because you're not getting it right on the first try. That's a fact. You're not getting it right on the first try.
The only shortcut is them handing you the puzzle already complete, and they don't feel that great after then. It's just a picture.
Yeah. And then how about this? So when you put a piece in, right? It's 2 parts to it. There's another piece that you have to connect to it. How many times do you try to connect a piece that don't fit to that? So you do got a playbook on your puzzle, right?
Yeah.
You got to run the play.
But you got to run the play.
Got to run the play.
It just don't feel as great handed to you as it does earning it.
It's a difference. I promise you that. Because and I'm gonna go back to what I said, when professional athletes, when anybody wins an NBA championship, NFL, Super Bowl, whatever sport or whatever profession, if I'm getting handed the #1 realtor in the world award, it's emotional because I know the work I put in for that. Like I put in some work to get there. Like getting drafted to the WNBA, I cried because dang, I just dreamt of this. And like it actually is here. It actually happened. Like, yo, that's crazy. That it's like, wow, that's crazy. I just did a video the other day where I was saying like where I was from. A lot of people don't know, Hollywood, Florida, but then let's take out the little section that I'm from, Liberia. When I say Liberia to people, they think I'm talking about Africa, to be honest. But I'm from this little spot in Hollywood called Liberia. It's 13 streets, 11 alleys, 2 avenues. That little block. That's where I'm from. So I'm telling you, and to make it from that place to the WNBA and just seeing all the things that I see, to be the president of the Miami chapter for the National Basketball Retired Players Association, that's crazy. But it's not crazy. That's God, because I put that work in. I'm telling you, I studied basketball like crazy. I studied those guys that I'm leading right now. And it's like mind blowing. Like, man, I used to watch you play when I was a kid. Like, it's like, yo. And I got their numbers. They're a recent, it's a vault. I could call anybody. And even my WNBA sisters, like, all right, what did you do to get over this? How did you just brainstorming and just talking? Because we, like you said earlier, because we all have a story. And you can never tell your story enough. You can never tell your story enough, because there's somebody out there that haven't had a wind of you yet, that just got a wind of you, and now they need to hear the story.
They want to hear the story.
Facts.
They want to hear the story. Y'all, okay, I'm about to admit one of my it's so weird. I don't even know why I'm wired like this, but it is. Every time I meet somebody, I really want to know, like, who are you, where you come from, all of this stuff. And like, it's like a movie being played out in front of me. My family will tell you I don't watch TV like that. Like, you have to tell me a good movie that came out for me to actually go make myself sit down to go and watch a movie, right? Because I don't watch it. Because to me, like, life is a movie. So every time I meet somebody, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I want to know more about you. Like, I want to know who you are. Like, I want us to connect on social media. I want to be able to hear your story. And this is the weird part. Okay, this is the part where I was like, okay, I gotta admit this. It hurts my heart when I can't find a backstory. Like, when I can't watch your movie.
Right?
Yeah. Who's the studio execs? Who's the producers? Who's the people that's gonna let me watch your movie? Right? Yeah. I just, man, y'all don't know how much people crave. They want to see your movie. You are special. You are inspiration. No matter where you come from, no matter what walk in life, no matter what you've been through, there's somebody else that's waiting to hear your story, and then know that they can make it. It don't matter what position you holding right now. There's always somebody. Kids want to wash dishes until they're old enough to wash dishes.
Yep.
They want to get a job at a fast food restaurant until they're old enough to work at the fast food restaurant. The fast food workers want to have a corporate job making 6 figures until they get to the corporate job and make 6 figures. The 6-figure workers want to be multimillionaires until they get into the position of being a multimillionaire. And the cycle just continues. So it don't matter if you busting dishes on the weekends or you running a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Somebody wants to hear your story, and you're inspiration to someone.
Facts.
From child to adult. How about somebody that can't get a job at all, just wants to have the job you have?
Yep.
But you're so ashamed of this piece, this small piece to your puzzle, to your bigger picture, that you won't talk about it.
Yeah.
That you won't profess it. That you won't make more out of it. The same fast food worker who started off working at McDonald's to support her kids on a minimum wage salary can be the same owner of a McDonald's franchise later on. That if she puts her mind to it or he puts his mind to it, they study the playbooks, they save the money, and they put in the hard work, they can own a franchise.
Yep.
You're right, Susan. People are never happy with what they have and where they are. And this is why. This is why they skip steps. Because like you said earlier, Takara, I've been at this for 10 years and it didn't turn into what I wanted it to turn into. So right at the moment that you're about to strike a gold mine, you're about to strike diamonds, you turn around.
You turn around.
Take your pickaxe and drop your head and wag your tailbone behind you. Why? Yep. Like, we got to learn to be where we are. There's a scripture. Y'all know I'm always go back to scripture. Paul said, I have been abased, meaning I've been wealthy, and I've been, abound. Or I've been wealthy and I've been poor. But in all things, he said, I learned to be content. He didn't say he learned to be complacent. Two different things.
Mhm.
He said he learned to be content. There's such a profound message in contentment. You are where you are. But if you don't look at somebody else's story and somebody else's life and then try to shortstop yourself and then turn into doing something else, you're going to turn into a mogul in your position. Right?
Yep.
We got to stop. We got to stop, hating the position that we're in so much so that we become stagnant and we don't move.
Yep.
Or that we turn our vision we turn our focus away from our vision and then start doing somebody else's vision. Because I know that's what you do. Entrepreneurs do that.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs do that. They get so discouraged in the position that they hold. They put in all the groundwork, sending out the mailers, telling everybody they exist, spreading brand awareness, marketing, talking about all the things, how they cook good food, sell good houses, run good, investment practices. And then because they don't see the results that they want to see, they turn away from their vision and go build somebody else's. They go get a job.
Yep. Facts.
They go put in an application. The application is so easy, baby. How is the application easier than the application?
Come on now, it went over some of their heads. Run it back. Because I'm telling you, it went over some of their heads.
How is the application easier than the application?
Ooh, bars. That's a whole bar. And that gets your think tank going. Because how is the application easier than the application? Because, people, I'll just fill out this application, just get the job, and I'll just do that. Building my dream, it takes a little bit more. Building the thing that I want, it takes a lot more of me. Mm-hmm. But to fill out their application, I could just show up 8 to 5, do the work, get paid. Yeah, same cycle. But to build my dream, I don't feel secure. It's long hours. I ain't trying to miss out on stuff. I ain't trying to sacrifice nothing.
You playing devil's advocate again?
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm just telling you how the people think. Yeah, it's just easier. Like, it's easier to just fill the application.
They got a bigger network.
Yeah, like they already got it there. I'm gonna just do that. I'm not gonna go hard for me. Like, I do want that for my family, but I ain't really willing to sacrifice. I just go ahead and just stay in this position because I'm complacent here. I'm just content doing this with their business. That's just right, I'm good with that.
I gotta say this. This is not y'all know I got animals up in here. This is not to put nobody that I'm telling y'all, sure as I say this is not to put anybody else down. Your position is for you. Please do not don't discount yourself and where you are. But I remember the first time as a realtor, personally, I sat down with a builder's rep. And I asked, because this person, she already knows. She's like a sister to me. She came out of it and decided to go and do her own thing. But I remember the first time I sat down and I thought, and I said, man, how much do you make doing this? Or whatever. She told me. And I said, that's it? And she said, well, yeah, because, we sell more volume. So it makes more sense, right? Because the realtor has to go out, hunt, eat what they kill, get a commission. If I'm working as a builder's rep, it's stable. I've got people coming in and out. Really, it's just selling itself. I'm just finding a position, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds good. It sounds good initially. Like, okay, people just coming in, houses selling themselves, whatever. And for me, I felt like, it was better that I was going to take home a $22,000 commission. I'm going to take home a $22,000 commission. This person I'm talking to is going to make a small commission and a salary off of this same house. same house, serving daggone in the same position, but they're gonna take home less than what I'm gonna take home. And then I thought, and I said to her, I said, you know, the difference between you and I said this earlier in our call, but the difference between you and I is a choice, power of choice. But the power to choose that, you know, I'm not gonna allow anybody to put a cap on me, and I want more, and I don't want to, you know, sit here. But at the same time, they both have their benefits. Yours is more stable, mine's, you know, it takes more grit. But then she and I sat down, put our heads together, and we determined that it all starts with what you are willing to do to make yours just as stable as this one.
Max.
See, the difference is they built 20 houses to sell. I got to go find 20 houses to sell.
Yep.
But nevertheless, if I go put in the work, the commissions that I'm going to make, finding those 20 houses to sell is going to be far greater than a person that just sells 20 houses that somebody else put out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not turning over my vision to go serve in your vision.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Unless God tells me. I'm
Correct.
not disobedient.
That's different.
Right?
Right.
But he still gave me a vision. And I still need to be operating in my capacity.
That's
this
clutch.
is what, man, we have to learn that it truly is what we make it. It truly is the work that we put in. It's truly what we want more of. It's truly, you know, what it takes for us to have the things that we desire, and just getting into it and not being complacent, but being content. That's all.
Yep.
That's it.
Nah, you said it. I mean, you can't say it no better than that. You gave a perfect example. It's about what you want to sacrifice. You know, a lot of times we say we want things. You can't take the shortcut to get it. You got to do the work. It's going to take work to get it. It's either going to take mind power, right? Or your physical being, but it's going to take some form of work from you. And you got to be ready to put it in. You got to be ready to put that work in. I'm glad we jumped on here, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Me too. I'm inspired right now. I'm ready. So I say, let's put these nuggets out.
Yeah.
And
at least once a week. We gotta at least once a week we gotta drop it for them, man. And you know, at the end of the day, again, it helps us too. You know, it keeps us accountable. It keeps us on the right path. And stop playing out here. Stop playing small ball, Coach V.
Small ball. Okay. Let's go. All right. So here's what we want to do. Like we said earlier, y'all let us know what topics you want to hear. Drop them, put them in the chat. You know, let us come back, watch them, and look for them anyways. And then come bring the message strong. Drop them in the chat. We want to know. Yeah. And then lastly, because we got to get out of here. This is how we be on the phone too. We be like, I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go, Sakar. I gotta go, Coach. Right? It's an hour and 22 minutes. But hey, this is what it is right here. We need those refillers. This is a fuel up station.
Yep.
Sakara, look in the camera, and whatever God puts on your heart, say it.
It's time. You're ready. You've been prepared for this. Now you just have to do this. Let's get it.
Let's go.
All right.
I'd
now
say
it's your turn.
Execution. I'm in the same wavelength because we oftentimes are connected, me and Sakara, when it comes to our messages for sure. It's time out for second guessing. Stop shrinking back. Stop playing small in somebody else's vision and play the big part in yours.
Love that.
Play the big part in yours.
Execution, baby. Listen, I feel like I'm about to go play a game right now. Let's get it.
Let's go. That's how we're going to do it. Well, we'll see y'all later. Like I said, drop your topics, and we'll be back next week. Well, it's already Saturday. We'll be back this upcoming week. Okay. Right. With the new topic in tow. So please go ahead and drop them. We ready.
Yeah, y'all be good. Pay attention.